This perp back with another video, and I just got done watching episode 8 of Swamp Thing season 1. And before I get to this review, I'd like y'all to hit that like button if you enjoyed this episode or you enjoyed this video. Sub if you're new, because I'll have way more Swamp Thing content coming. You know, I'm gonna keep doing these episode reviews until it's done. But, you know, getting right into this episode, it starts off where the last episode left off, where, you know, we saw Avery coming out of the swamp. Now he's kind of like going through the swamp. He's pretty much hallucinating, seeing things that aren't really there. And, you know, I really liked this episode for them toning things back. And I'll get to what I mean by that towards the end of this video. But then, you know, Abby goes back to Atlanta, where the CDC is, to do some tests on the sample that she took from the swamp. And, you know, she's met with some obstacles. You know, not too many people believe her, and just a lot of shady shit going on. So, you know, she goes to, you know, her partner Harlan to just talk things out, and Harlan's trying to get to the bottom of all this. And, you know, he does mean well, but doesn't mean you should trust him right off bat. So Woodrow gets a visit from one of the investors that, you know, he's looking into Woodrow's work, and he's very interested, and he gives him pretty much full funding in a whole new facility to do his research on. And like I said, I'm not really too sure what his involvement is, like what's his whole point, or what's his whole goal. But moving along, we get a lot more backstory on Avery, and while he's going through the swamp, we see some flashbacks of him as a kid and his father, and we see that, you know, his father was killed by the swamp, and it seems like he was just trying to like ignore that and put it into the past. But then he runs into Swamp Thing, and he damn near shits himself when he comes face to face with Swamp Thing. But he ends up waking up in Alex's lab, or, you know, his workplace, or his lair, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and comes to find out that Swamp Thing actually was trying to help him, but was fully aware of the person he is, and knows that he tried to get him killed. But, you know, it just shows you how much heart that Alex still has in there. Meanwhile, you know, we have this little subplot going on with Matt, where he's kind of upset that, you know, he wasn't told who his real father was for the longest. And Lucia, you know, it's kind of backfiring on her. And we might see a turn with Matt. He might go down a darker path, or, you know, he might just distance himself from her. But, you know, little shit like that. But back to the main story. You know, Abby and Harlan start to talking, and she reveals to Harlan that, you know, this thing in the swamp is Alec. And he doesn't believe her off rip. He's kind of, I'm not gonna say he doesn't believe her, but he's kind of shocked at that reveal. But he does believe her and trust her, and probably has the only one that has her back. But at the same time, it's like, I don't understand why she's sitting there telling everybody Alex's secret, and it's starting to really blow back into her face as things progressively start getting kind of worse. So back at the swamp, you see Swamp Thing and Avery start talking, having this back and forth. And this is where Avery kind of starts putting things together that he didn't really have knowledge of at first. But, he starts to put things together and uses it to his benefits to escape. And he's able to get away from the swamp for right now. And he makes a deal with Alec, saying, I'll bring back Woodrow and see if he can help you, become human again. Which I wouldn't trust that. Back at the CDC, Abby's having a hard time getting access into certain parts of the building. And then she gets pulled into this room with that investor, that was investing in Woodrow's work and whatnot, and they want her to pretty much help them find Alec and bring him in for experiments and whatnot. And you already know Abby's not about that, so she tries to get ahead of them before they could get to him first. Really interesting stuff. So back at Woodrow's house, where Avery arrives, he pretty much tells him, I know where Alec is. And they pretty much go back and forth and reveal a lot of stuff, especially Woodrow. He pretty much tells him all about Maria's plans to cut him out of everything. And you think at this point, that is Avery really going to have a change of heart and really try to help Alec because he saved him? But they end up meeting up with Swamp Thing in the swamp, and they get to talking, and Woodrow is just having a serious hard on because he's just like in awe of what he's seeing. And obviously it's a trap. And I love this scene right here because it's been a while since we gotten some Swamp Thing action, and he's sitting there just tossing dudes left and right. But and I wish we got kind of more of this. It was a cool scene for what it was, but before he could even get to Avery, they're able to stop him with this some type of freezing technology or something like that. It seemed like it was dry ice or something like that. That's what it kind of looked like. But all this is really Abby's fault, man. If she would have just kept her fucking mouth shut about certain things and not like tell everybody her business, she wouldn't be in this predicament. But it's going to be interesting to see how these last 2 episodes are going to play out. It's sad that we don't know if this is going to come back in some form or fashion. But yeah, what do you guys think about this episode in the comments below? Let me know. I thought it was pretty good. I liked it more than the last. Just because the last episode, there was just too much going on. This one was more, laid back. Things didn't just seem rushed like the last episode. But, until the next episode review, I'll check y'all out later. Peace.
When I was young, I thought that success was all I needed. That's what was gonna bring the happiness. Buying my mom a house, being the fame, the accolades, having people say, yo, you are the best in the game. I thought those would be the things that would bring happiness. And then when those things came, the happiness wasn't there. And I realized why that was. There was such an attempt to achieve these things and to keep going that you lose sight of the people and the blessings that you have around.